that's not the topic. The topic is you know how much you make, and you should know what you should be able to afford. You should budget your money. Okay, I make $6,500 a month. Let's just say it's no endorsements because, like Stat said, I don't know her endorsement situation either. I have to live, rent. I have to pay my phone bill. I have to get food if I don't have a chef. I have to travel. All this is in a budget. You just can't jump out the window and say, "Give me a chef," and then later on be like, "Oh, I didn't ask you how much it costs." You have to budget your money.
They made millions, lost millions, and now they're exposing the money rules most rappers learn way too late. This conversation from Cam'ron and Mase is bigger than rap. This is financial literacy, wealth building, and how smart money actually keeps you rich in the entertainment industry. They break it down simple. It's not about how much you make. It's about how you budget, how you spend, and how you move once the money hits your account. Too many artists chase luxury lifestyle, high-end expenses, and instant gratification without understanding cash flow, taxes, or long-term investments. That's how people go broke after making those millions. And this ties directly into a debate hip-hop has had for years. People always bring up Jay-Z and Dame Dash. They ask why Jay-Z doesn't help Dame Dash financially. But what Cam and Mase are saying is the real answer. If you had hundreds of millions of dollars and didn't manage it right, no amount of help fixes bad money habits. Now I'm about to let y'all hear this for yourselves. But before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave y'all thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
My thing is, see, we're jumping off the topic of if that's a good price for LA, and we're jumping off the topic of saying, Mase, if 5,000. The topic is, you know how much you make, and you know how much you should be able to spend. That we're talking about the price of hair in Tampa, the price of hair in LA, the price of food in LA. Yo, that's not the topic. The topic is, you know how much you make, and you should know what you should be able to afford. You should budget your money. Okay, I make $6,500 a month. Let's just say it's no endorsements because, like Stat said, I don't know her endorsement situation either. I have to live, rent. I have to pay my phone bill. I have to get food if I don't have a chef. I have to travel. All this is in a budget. You just can't jump out the window and say, "Give me a chef," and then later on be like, "Oh, I didn't ask you how much it costs." You have to budget your money.
Right.
We're not talking about the price of living in Texas versus the price of living in Nebraska. We're talking about being smart financially, financial literacy of budgeting your money. So if you live in LA and you know not only that, you have to, let's say, for instance, we're not even factoring in taxes. So how much do you really make a month? You cannot just be like, "I didn't know." So I'm not like, you know what you can spend in Tampa versus LA. Yeah. I can't do this here. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where we're missing where the real topic is. Mm-hmm. Not what you spent anything else. It's about financial literacy and budgeting your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's a death trap for anybody. I don't care what color you are. Everybody that say, "I don't know," ends up bad. And I don't care who it is. I've seen the best of them. Spanish, Caucasian, and Asian, right? I mean, even Jeremy Lin, he didn't know. You're going to find out. Listen, if you don't know, you're in trouble. Just always remember that. If you don't know, you're in trouble. Because once you pass, I think 15, you're too old to be saying you don't know.
Yeah. Especially regarding your own funds. So I know Cam brought up the house example, and I'm just curious, Mase, have you ever made a financial decision, and I'm not talking about specific money, but like maybe bought something that you know didn't make sense, but you still don't regret it?
Nah, you normally regret it. you gonna regret it. Because even when you look back, like, I mean, I bought a watch, right? And the watch was about like 100, like 175 but I told, today the watch is worth 300, so I made money off it. So I'm happy about that. But there's times when if you're buying something and it doesn't go well, if you're a smart person, you always want that do-over. Pause. You got to have that. And like Killer said, I made these decisions before. I'm not going to do that again, right? You know, so that's why we're so emphatic about saying you don't know, because that's going to come back to haunt you. Yeah. I don't care who you are. That will come back to haunt you. We see guys made $100 million that say that 100 wasn't enough. Why? Because they spent it differently, saying they don't care or they don't know. And now we look at them like, man, I just need one more shot. It's hard to show people grace when you've seen them blow through 100 million twice, and then now saying nobody helped them. Like, nobody helped you. How much help you need? And that's what I'll be saying when we talking about athletes, and they're like, well, this guy is getting this money, but you don't know what his bills are like. It don't care what his bills are like. If you make a certain amount of money, you got to be able to budget it and know what you're doing with the money. Money is dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Cam.
Not really, because thank God I'm where I'm at now. If I was up, I would have been like that. Like, why the f did I buy that? What was I doing? But then when I needed 8 cars at one time. It made me sleep better. You know what I'm saying? I needed that for that time period in my life. It made me feel good. Now, if I wasn't doing good today, thank God again, then I'd probably be like, what the f was I doing with 8 cars at one time? Why would I do that? Why did I have 6 cribs in 4 states? For what? But, God had a good plan for me, and I'm here where I'm at now. So, no, I don't regret it, but I could see me regretting it if things didn't work out moving along in life. But things worked out for me, thank God. And like I said, but everything I had that I bought that may seem foolish to Cam now at this age, at 50 years old, at this age, and be like, I talk to my all the time. We'd be like, what the f was we doing? Yo, we was bugging. We was wilding. But we made it through so we could have those conversations now. And some of the stuff at this age, I'll say, yo, I shouldn't have did that. But it worked out, so no, I don't regret it. Now, if I was sitting here up, I'd be like, yeah, I shouldn't have did it. But I'm thank God I'm all right now. I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, good to hear.
But some of that stuff make you feel good, especially with, like I said, we had this conversation. I had this conversation or talk with Flea with Sin, but me and Mase had this conversation on this show a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken. When you first get your money, you got to know where we coming from, man. Said we wasn't going to do it. You got to show off a little bit. You got to go get chains and whips like a slave. Like, you got to go do it, my nigga. It's just for that environment, because you like, yo, these things will happen. Remember Mase had the great 318, man. Then he got, my nigga, he had to do that. I remember Mase don't even probably know. I was pissed off at Mase, man, right? I was pissed off at this one time, right? I respected it, but I was mad. We was on tour. Yo, Stat, we on tour. I'm not on tour. I'm on tour with him. And the tour is over. And we fly back to New York. And when we get to the airport, I don't remember what it was. I think it's the CL500 coupe. We had it waiting for him at the airport and gave all of us a 5 and rode off.
Gilly, you tell a story wrong.
He don't remember it that way.
That's a fact.
I don't remember it.
You do not remember
you was
that's a fact. What
you was with Jim. It was only a 2-seater.
Listen, it was Dagger. It was more than all of us. It was a few of us. It wasn't just us. It was about 5 of us.
I would have definitely rode off with you, but I was thinking, this your man. So I was like, you be with your man.
Not more than you, my man. Listen, but at the same time, no, listen. You got to realize this 22-year-old son. Listen, more of the stories, Mase. I've done it after you.
The truth is, most people don't go broke because they don't make money. They go broke because they don't understand it. That's why this conversation with Cameron and Mase actually hits different. This isn't just about rappers. This is about financial literacy, wealth mindset, and real money management that applies to anybody trying to level up. And this brings us right back to the ongoing conversation about Jay-Z and Dame Dash. People always debate whether Jay-Z should step in and help Dame Dash financially. But if you really listen to what Cameron and Mase are saying, it reframes everything. At some point, financial responsibility has to be personal. You can't outsource discipline. Now, I'm not saying that Dame Dash is broke or going with that narrative at all. I honestly think he's not broke. But both of these stories are still very important to learn. One shows what happens when money moves the wrong way. The other shows what happens when money is leveraged the right way. That contrast is what makes this conversation powerful. Here's a fact that puts everything into perspective. Over 60% of NBA players go broke within 5 years of retirement. That's not because they didn't earn enough money. That's because financial literacy wasn't part of the plan. Same pattern, different industry. So let me ask you all this. Do you think Jay-Z made the right move focusing on building billions instead of helping Dame Dash financially? And after hearing Cameron and Mase, do you think most artists fail because of bad deals or bad money habits? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.